The Blindside Podcast is not associated or affiliated with my current employers and is voluntarily recorded and produced on my own time. This episode of the Blindside Podcast is being streamed live on youtube.com/blindmotogamer. Be sure to subscribe for great content and so much more. Hello everyone, Blind Metal Gamer here along with my guest Kaira Supersayan 1993. Kaira?
Hi guys, it's a pleasure to be back.
Yep, we're back again with another episode of the Blindside Podcast. Tonight we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to talk about how we had to use advocacy to get the job where we're at today. So what we're going to do is I'm going to let Kaira go first and tell her story, and then I'm going to share mine. And we're going to tell our stories of how we use advocacy to get where we are today. So, Kaira,
all right. So mine is a complex story. I was out of college and I was trying to find jobs through all the means. I was trying temp agencies. I was trying job searches. OVR, which is Office of Vocational Rehabilitation. I was trying the works. Finally, I get invited to apply through a temp agency, and they placed me right away. Not now. Sorry, that's my computer. And they hire me right away, and I go and I go in. I've done all my paperwork for work, and they tell me, yeah, you're going to be in the call center. And I'm just overwhelmed with nerves immediately. I'm like, the call center? What do you mean the call center? I was told I was being hired for data entry positions. What the heck are y'all putting me in the call center for? And so I'm sitting through orientation. I'm fighting back tears. And finally, after the girl is done sends off the other girl who started the same day as me, she said, okay, look, we'll work something out. You don't have to be in the call center. I know it's not anything I can do. I mean, it's not for everyone. And so by standing my ground, I got into a position I like. And I did not get stuck in a job that I knew I would do terribly in and get fired from. And it's been 3 months and I'm doing well.
All right, that sounds pretty interesting. And okay, now I'm going to share my story about how I got where I'm at today. And my road was a little bit different. I went and I graduated high school in 2002, and DFB, which is now OVR, it was DFB at the time, placed me in a place called Frankfurt Rehabilitation Incorporated. It's now just Frankfurt Rehabilitation. And so, okay, I'm thinking it's going to be a good job. I can get decent pay. I can get decent, and at least support myself and make a decent living for the time. Boy, was I wrong when they hit me with that first paycheck. I was working 5 days a week, 40 hours a week, and payday comes. I'm excited. It's paycheck time. I look at the check, and it was only for $34. Well, it was actually someone read it to me. It was only for $34.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I'm like, what? $34? Really? And so we're thinking, okay, something can't be right here, but it might be because of some places they take out a lot of fees or whatever. Okay, I'll continue working. So I couldn't quit my job because that was the only job I had at the time. So I did not get to just say, I'm done, see ya. So I keep working there, keep getting these abysmal paychecks, just very, very minuscule, in the double digits. It wasn't what I should have been paid. Turns out they were paying me sub-minimum wage, and we didn't realize it. And for those of you who are, yes, sub-minimum wage. Now, for those of you who are listening who do not know, sub-minimum wage was established in 1938 as a part of the Fair Labor and Standards Act. And it's still legal today. They still legalize this today. Now, after about a month or two of that, I talked with my OVR counselor at the time. I said, look, I'm getting paid sub-minimum wage. They're not doing me right. I really want to try a college thing. My mother I had bickered and bickered and all this. And we had just fought about it. I wanted to go to college. I wanted to go because everybody was like, oh, that's what you got to do. That's what's up. And then, so after about a month or two of that, my mom finally realized, hey, they're screwing him over. Let's at least let him give it a try. So I quit my job in September 2003 at Frankfurt Rehabilitation. I then prepared to go to BCTC, and I went to the Charles W. McDowell Center from December 2003 to March to prepare for the compass test. I took the compass test in August of 2005, and I got accepted into BCTC. What I didn't expect was I get moved into my job on August 19th of that year, and it's the biggest shock of my life. I only got this ginormous CCTV. It's big enough to take up about, I would say, a table with camera and monitor and all that. So it was that big. It wasn't like it is today with readers that are, with apps that'll read things to you and things like that. So I just get that one piece of equipment. I'm like, where's my other stuff? Where's the computer? Where's the printer? Where's the other stuff? Oh, well, that's not arrived yet, is what they told me. It was being shipped, but they were being slow about it. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll make do. I go to class, and I had to take an intermediate math class, intermediate math. So I get into that, and the math professor was like, okay, no calculators. I went up to her, I said, ma'am, the OFB OVR got me a specific calculator so I could do these problems. She said, no calculator at all. Go see the accommodations office. Okay. So I go down there, and I go into the reception area in the front, and I asked to speak to the disability worker at the time. I said, may I speak to the disability worker? And they looked at me with a straight face and said, you got anything better to do? That was their exact words.
Oh my gosh.
So I knew right then I was in a must-lose situation. Not in a must-win situation. I was in a must-lose situation. What that means is I needed to get out of that situation and fail at it and get me a job because it was not going to work. So basically what happened was I basically dropped out. And that night, my mom called me. I was looking at my syllabus. I said, well, I don't have what I need. They're not helping me. She said, you want to come home and just go to work? I said, you know what? Come and get me. So her and her boyfriend at the time came and got me. They packed all my stuff, except the microwave and fridge. We let my roommate keep that. And to help make up for that loss financially, my roommate's mother cut me and my mom a check for the microwave and the fridge. So the whole dorm helped me move out, and they were sad to see me go. But because of the circumstances, I couldn't do it. There was no way.
Yeah.
I was going to fail. I was doomed to fail from day one. So I get home, and I then met Craig, the OVR counselor. His name was Craig Callahan. Is who I met after all that went down. And they actually tried to get me back out at Frankfurt Rehabilitation. I said, no, I'm not going out there. I'm not going to go through that again after what I just went through. You didn't help me with college. This was the OVR counselor that I had at the time. I think his name was Reed Becker. I think. Don't quote me on that. Mm-hmm. So I met Craig Callahan in 2005. He sat me down and we said, look, we're going to come up with a plan. You need to get out there and get to working. The best thing to do is get volunteer work going. I get volunteer work going. I start working at the Senior Citizen Center in my hometown. And I worked there from October of 06 to December of 06. And that really, really helped get my name out there. And then I worked at the Salvation Army for a little while. Then I started doing data entry at a church that Kaira and I know very well. Mm-hmm. So I started doing data entry there. And I met a guy named Milton Tyree in 2008. And he helped me get the job I have now with the Commonwealth Council on Development of Disabilities. And pre-COVID, I started in November of 2009. And my duties included answering and transferring calls, shredding, greeting visitors, assisting visitors where they needed to go, stuff like that. Your basic receptionist type duties, front desk manager stuff. Then, as time evolved and COVID started, I had to work from home. So, okay, what does he do now? I now do. I review products for the Human Development Institute for accessibility. I do um, notes for various council meetings and LRC committee meetings and other stuff like that. I also do my usual editing of said notes and submitting of said notes. Now, I use public transportation to get to and from work. Recently, I just started going back into the office 2 days a week. So while I'm there, I not only do the note taking and the product reviews, I also partake in my usual front desk managerial responsibilities. So you kind of get the best of both worlds.
Yep.
And, I've had the job since 2009. I'm able to now support myself and my family. I'm able to, do things that I've not been able to do before. I have assistive technology such as a phone and things, which are mine that I got through my stable account. I have a computer, which, I use for work when I work from home. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, things are going great. And I owe it all to competitive, integrated employment and customized employment. So a big shout out to Advocacy for taking Kaira and I on and letting us experience real work for real wages and get me out of the hellhole that was sheltered employment. Now, I do want to say that I believe things need to change in that realm dramatically in terms of sheltered employment. I understand that there are people that need it, families that do need that, because if loved ones don't have a place to go and they need a place for them to go during the day, they get paid and then they get something that doesn't affect their Medicare or Medicaid. But I also understand, too, there are people like Kaira and myself and many others that don't need to be in that. I think what they ought to do is, have it where, okay, if you can do X amount of hours of work per week and do certain types of work, and prove you can get out of that, then graduate from that to maybe something like what Kaira and I do. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree. And the fact that you were working 40 hours a week, 5 days a week, and we're getting paid sub-minimum wage is outrageous to me. I mean, that should not be legal in today's day and age.
No, it should not. But it is. It is.
And here's the other thing. My experience, I went through all this after going through the works, working on a degree for 10 years off and on, and only to find out, oh yeah, your piece of paper, yeah, it doesn't qualify you. You need help getting a job. So, and here's the other thing. I got lucky. I got a pay increase my first week on the job.
Hey, you can't beat that.
I went from barely above minimum wage to enough to where I can get better health insurance and I can sustain myself. Heck, we're looking at getting myself an apartment. And if that's the case, then I'll be able to pay utilities on said apartment. I could technically pay the rent on it, but $675 a month for rent is expensive, especially in where we live.
Oh yeah. With me, my living situation's a little different, but it took me some time to get where I'm at. But I'm at a point now where I can help. I'm buying my own groceries. Helping out with more bills, more responsibilities.
Exactly.
And but it took time. The thing was, it took time. I had to prove myself.
Mm-hmm.
And prove to my employers, hey, this guy can go and he can do what he's got to do for the office and for the agency, which, okay. Now, granted, we did say this helps us get the job of our dreams. Now, I want to ask you this, Kaira, before you went to your current position, what was your dream job that you didn't get to land, but you really wanted it?
Oh, gosh. Well, I was hoping to get some kind of art job, because that's what my degree's in. I was hoping to get a job in something like graphic design, but ultimately though my degree and my lack of experience and my lack of job experience. I mean, I'm the kind of person that's been fired from almost every job, volunteer or part-time that I've had. So all those cards were just not in my favor, and I would bomb interviews and everything else. So for me, this was actually good because now I'm in a job that I love. I get to do data entry. I get to do quality checks. I get to look at records that people need to access on a daily basis. I mean, you don't think you're in I mean, what I wouldn't have called this my dream job when I applied for it, but now this pretty much is my dream job. I love where I am.
All right. Now, with me, I wanted to be a radio DJ. I wanted to go into radio and broadcasting, and it ate at me. When college didn't work out, and then I'm like, okay, I tell them, okay, I want to go into broadcasting. Can we at least look into it? They were going to look into it for me. They were going to look into this and see if it would be a doable thing. Because, if it's not doable, if it's not realistically possible to get employment, the OVR, they want you to get employed as soon as possible. I get that. So the focus shifted. There was another friend of mine who needed a job as well. So they thought, okay, let's do the state route because that would be easier for them, I'm guessing. But, maybe the broadcasting didn't work out, for a reason. But, and yeah, I'll admit it. There are times I do gripe and complain. I'm sure we all do at our jobs. We all gripe and moan. But, I think of it like this. It's helping me to achieve the life that I would want to have,
Exactly.
So the dream job might not have been in reach. It's helping me to achieve a good life. So I'm grateful for that as we head into Thanksgiving and Turkey Day and eating all that scrumptious food.
Not just that, into the holidays where it's about giving,
not just receiving.
Exactly. I'm grateful because now, don't get me wrong, I'm still getting the you need to stop spending lecture, but now it's like, but now I can actually support myself on like my various purchases or like on Christmas shopping for once.
Right. Christmas shopping, various purchases I want. And yeah, I get the you need to stop spending deal too. Don't feel bad. So we're both in the same boat.
I know.
Okay. So with that being said, we've shared our stories. Do you have anything you want to say as far as advice for anyone who's going to be graduating high school or in a position where they need to get a job and where they need to use advocacy?
What I would say is you don't always need that degree. Yes, it's going to help you, and if you think you're cut out for college, go for it for the experience. Get the degree. And even if you don't get a job in what your degree is in, having that degree will help you. If you don't feel like you're up for a degree, there's always trade school or school, or if you're disabled like me and Blind Metal Gamer are, you can always go to your OVR counselor, and your OVR counselor is there to help you. And if your OVR counselor is screwing you over like they were with Blind Metal Gamer, you can request another counselor. You have options. You need to grow some skin. You need to grow some hide and be your own advocate in these situations. Just sitting there and folding your arms being all, I don't know. It's not going to get you anywhere. Trust me, I would know. I dragged my feet through trade school, and I got kicked out 3 times because of it. So I get it. You need to grow, hide, and be your own advocate, no matter what card you're dealt.
Oh, yes. I would say, if college don't work for you, and you need that job piece, if you have a disability, your OVR counselor, they'll help you. If you feel like you can do it on your own, go about it that route.
And don't be afraid to use a temp agency. That's...
that's what me and Kaira used.
Use a temp agency until I got an email saying, hey, so-and-so is looking to hire in this field. Apply now. And if I hadn't have responded to that email, I wouldn't have gotten where I am.
Oh, I know. Had I not met Milton, I wouldn't have been where I'm at. Now,
if I hadn't gotten that email from, I think it was Indeed. If I hadn't gotten that email from Indeed saying that Adecco was looking to hire, I wouldn't be where I am.
Oh, I know. I mean, I wouldn't be where I'm at either if I hadn't have met him and went through that. Now, granted, yeah, I mean, I've had the job 13 years, and I still kind of long for that desire to go into the field that I wanted to go into, but maybe this might be building the portfolio for that.
Exactly. And here's the... sorry, go ahead.
And, you know, I mean, I not only do these podcasts, but I do, other things as well. But I think that this is helping to get things going, possibly in that direction, maybe one day, because I know where I'm at probably won't be a forever thing. I got to think of plans B, C, D, E, F, whatever.
Yeah. And here's the other thing. Even if you land a temp job, it doesn't mean that your field is up once your temp job's over. They told me from day one that it's not a matter of if your contract gets bought. It's a matter of when your contract gets bought. They want to keep you.
Mm-hmm.
If you do well and you abide by their rules, chances are you've got a lifetime job, even though you're working for a temp agency.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, maybe the radio thing probably wouldn't have been because you have to go to school for that. And, but I think, like I said, by doing these, I'm still doing the broadcasting I want to do on the side and doing the work I need to do, during the day and doing what I got to do to make a little few extra bucks. So
exactly.
Okay.
And I'm still doing the art stuff on the side. I mean, I still do my crafting, my hobbies, I still hone my skills on the side. I'm working a job that helps me make ends meet.
Right. So, okay. So before we wrap up, do you have anything you want to say to anyone that might be in a similar position, that might be struggling with their advocacy skills? Do you have any advice for them before we wrap up?
What I will say is be your own advocate. Keep in touch with your resources. If you feel like you're not getting anywhere, don't be afraid to reach out. You have options. You have supports. Use those supports. Don't be afraid all the time.
Oh, yeah. My advice would be, use those advocacy skills that you've been taught. If you have to have someone advocate for you and be your voice and help you with your advocacy skills, don't hesitate to ask for help, because even Kaira and I will even have to ask for help sometimes.
Exactly.
But, there have been times I would freak out, literally freak out. And they're like, okay, what do you need help with? I need help with this. Okay, let me help you. But see, if you don't ask for it, they're not going to know. So always ask for help if needed. And if you are, in the position of having to, get a job, don't be, do like Kaira said, don't be afraid to use a temporary agency or something like that, because that might lead to some good opportunities for you.
Exactly.
So, Kaira, any closing remarks before we sign off?
No, I think I'm good.
All right. With that being said, this has been a YouTube exclusive episode of the Blindside Podcast. This will be available on Spotify and other podcasting platforms very soon. Also, for those of you tuning in on youtube.com/blindmetalgamer, I will be streaming God of War Ragnarok on Wednesday and WWE 2K22 tomorrow evening. So with that being said, for Kaira Supersayan, I've been your host, Blind Metal Gamer, saying so long, everyone, and peace out.
I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening. This has been another episode of the Blindside Podcast. You can find the Blindside Podcast on a plethora of platforms, including Spotify, YouTube, Pocket Cast, Castbox, TuneIn Radio, and much more. Be sure to follow on Spotify so you will not miss a single episode.